Okay, so the problem I have is my forks are too narrow. The website says that you can convert any bike, but that's probably not true because fortunately I can't get this to work. The actual drum is rubbing on my forks down here and I've scratched the rim there. So I had a look at the website. It doesn't actually tell you what the minimum dimensions are, but in between my forks here is probably about 80 millimeters, so it's not wide enough. The manual tells you to put some extra washers behind the hub here, try to force out your forks, but I tried that and it just wouldn't work. The gap's too small. So what do you do? Because the idea of this conversion kit is you put it onto a bike you already have. I don't want to go and buy a new bike. I did have a look at a bike down at Cash Converters, so maybe another $200. So luckily I have my wife's bike over here, which is probably about 10 years old, and she's used it about 6 times. I didn't want to ride around on a woman's bike, but it's got a crossbar, so I'll give it a go. And as you can see, hopefully, is that the fork distance is much wider than mine. The actual forks themselves and taper, they're quite narrow here, and the distance between the forks here is about 90 millimeters. So the actual wheel that you get from Swytch fits on here okay. Even though I didn't want to use this bike, I can't see any other option. That might be okay. Okay, put the throttle on, put the battery on. I think it's time to take this baby for a spin. So I've cycled probably about 6 kilometers to a place called Menippi Parklands in Brisbane, and just took the bike out for a trial run. Average speed was 23 kilometers an hour, which is pretty good, mostly on flat. I'm going to try something different. You can reset the wheel size, so I'm going to say my wheel size is smaller than the actual 28 inches, and let's see whether that makes it go a little bit faster on the way back. So far so good. Okay, back to the car now. That was nearly 6 kilometers again, and I checked the speed and it was actually a little bit less than when I went out, so it doesn't seem changing the wheel diameter makes much difference. So I've done about 12 kilometers in total, and I've lost 3 bars of charge. I was pretty much using the power all the way through. Okay, so this bike took me about, I don't know, 4 hours to put together, and about an hour and a half of that was messing around with the front wheel of my bike before I put it on my wife's bike. Sitting under this gum tree here, and it's shedding a bit of bark. Yeah, what can I say? The only thing I'm concerned about is this little magnetic wheel. Looks a bit fragile, especially you've got to be careful putting it in the back of the car, taking it out again, that you don't damage that little wheel. But other than that, I think it's good fun. Yeah, it really helps cycling, especially up the hills. So I paid about 850 Australian dollars for it, which included $100 for delivery. So I think it's well worth it. Just be careful about the front forks. Make sure that your bike is like this one with the tapered forks, so then we don't have a problem. Okay, here we go.